My name is Paula de la Cruz-Fernandez. This is an interview about Faith's cleaning services for the Gainesville Business History Oral History Project, run by the Inquire Capitalism program of the History Department at the University of Florida. Understand that for us and for the public, the information you are providing is a gift, and as it is an incredible historical resource, and we dearly appreciate it. This interview will be a part of the UF Oral History Collections and the UF Digital Collections, and it will be posted on YouTube as well. Could you please introduce yourself? What is your full name, and could you please spell it?
I'm Faith Deragon, and it's FaithDeragon. And what else did you need to know?
Wonderful, thank you. So let's start a little bit with the business so I can get the data for that part. What is the current legal and business name of the company, and have you operated under any different names?
So it's Faith's Cleaning Service, and it's doing business as, so myself as well.
Mm-hmm. Right. And it's an LLC?
No, it's not an LLC.
Okay. And when did you, so you're a sole proprietor then?
Yes.
Correct. And when do you consider you started it as a business rather than just yourself?
In 2017.
2017. Okay. Wonderful. Have you done business under any other name?
No.
Sounds good. So when and why did you decide to start Faith's Cleaning?
Well, my husband at the time and he was struggling to keep a job. He was off and on. And so I really wanted us to have stable finances. And a while, maybe 6 months before that, when he was employed, I hired somebody from a cleaning company to come and help us organize a little bit. Because while I help with some organizing, it's more tidying, and I have someone else that I would refer to for organizing for my clients' home. So sorry to get sidetracked.
No, it's opposite. We want to know that.
Yes. So I started the business after I actually worked for another cleaning company.
What was the cleaning company?
I worked, and I started helping her one Saturday morning, and I said, I love this. Can I help out more? And then the longer I was with her, I saw some ways that I thought she could improve. And she was not open to it. And that really frustrated me. And I wanted to get more work, and I wanted to expand. And she wasn't open to doing that for her. And I was willing to help her with that, but she wasn't open to that. So I was at a playground one day, and this mother was like, I'm not happy with my cleaning person. I really like what you're talking about and your methodology for cleaning. Let me help you grow your business a little bit. And so this lady, Virginia, she helped me. She said, oh, I'm going to have you come consistently every 2 weeks. And I was talking to her, and I was like, I want to create a business name. And when I created a business name, I was like, I want to attract people that have faith, in a higher power, and I wanted to attract, I wanted to do primarily cleaning. So I said, you know what? Why don't I have my name in my business too. And so I made Faith's Cleaning Service, and
Yeah,
everyone
tell
loves
me.
it. How they ask me what my name is, and I'm like, yeah, I'm the business owner. I'm Faith, and I call it Faith's Cleaning Service.
Yeah.
And so she referred me to a couple people, and then I also did some Facebook marketing, paid a little bit. And then I
Mm,
also on my Google page listed a coupon.
mm,
Um, I got a lot of people that were calling and were like, can you come for an hour? Can you come for 2 hours? And wanting a deep clean. And what I didn't realize was they were expecting a team and it was just me. So I,
right.
at the time and even now, didn't have know really anybody else that could clean. So I just told them, I said, how about you pay for 3 hours and you get the fourth free? And as a first time offer for first time customers.
Mm,
And I did that for a couple months, and I grew from that. And then I also joined a networking group, Gainesville Networking Group,
okay.
and I met other business owners and other individuals, and I did a little bit of bartering and a little bit of like regular work, and that helped me grow a little bit. And then
Mm,
I asked my customers too. I offered them. I said, "I'll give you a half hour free if you can tell your friends about me."
mm,
And so that also helped me grow. Um, and then I had a lot of people asking me, "Oh, do you have a way that I can write a review about you and stuff?" So I just took a lot of feedback and I used it. And I have, I'm not sure how many reviews at this very moment, maybe close to 70
mm.
five-star reviews.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yes, I'm very proud of my business and how it's grown and where it's taken me. And it's helped me become an independent individual mother. And yeah, yeah.
Wonderful. You mentioned two things that I'm very interested in. First, you said that the person you worked for before um, didn't want to kind of apply some of your ideas. Please tell
Yeah,
me
I
about
really
those ideas.
didn't raise once I was aware that she raised her rates quite a bit. And that would have put me in, since I was at doing a 1099, I said,
Mm,
no, I would like to be at a minimum wage. At the time I was um, we were experiencing some financial difficulty and we were trying to just live off of my income and stuff. And so, yeah, I did my
could you
best.
share? Could you share
When
how much you got paid?
I was being paid 12.50 an hour, and I was asking for to be paid $13 an hour so that I could have the funds to pay my taxes
Yeah.
and to yeah. And so then when I started out on my own, I started at about $18 an hour, and it's more than doubled at this point. And I started the business in 2017. So
Okay.
yeah.
Good. And then, so besides wages, what other ideas do you had?
So I know a lot of companies do it based off of square footage and stuff. And I
Mm,
kind of explored some things sometimes where I would have a cleaner come to my home and kind of like I don't know what you'd say, kind of like test the waters and see what people gave, And I also asked my customers too, oh, have you had past cleaners? What have they done? And like, how much do they charge you and things like that, just to kind of gauge what am I giving people and am I
mm,
undercharging, overcharging? And from all that feedback, I had people that would come in and they charge me this flat fee, and they would just look around and be like, "Oh, she has a beautiful home. I'm just going to clean her bathrooms and floors and tell her that's all that she gets." And I could really tell by their attitude that that's how they were charging and how they were like going about their business.
Mm.
And I literally did not have them come back, but I really try to give a very full cleaning when I give people a cleaning as much as I can. If I had the energy and the and the ability, I would probably organize everybody's homes, clean them and everything and leave it in perfect condition. I just have this like maybe it's anxiety a little bit, like just I really want a perfectionist a little bit inside of me
Yeah.
that makes me want to do really well and give people something better than what it was left, close to perfect. And
Yeah.
then when I'm not able to do that, I just tell them, I'm like, at some point it's just gonna keep building on each other. The cleanings will just keep building on each other. Um, and that's usually when
Yeah.
people decide I've had enough with living the way that I have, and then I'm going to start keeping up a little bit myself. And I have some customers that keep up very, very well, pristine. Then I have some that I can definitely tell they don't do any bathroom cleaning in between, but they definitely keep up with their kitchen or certain things. And then certain times they come and it's a really big mess and they understand. And I charge accordingly. I try to charge hourly. I felt like that was really fair. It compensated me for the time. And it also helped them realize I value their time and I value my time. And if you leave this amount of work, then I'm going to do my best to accomplish all of it as long as I have the time to do it. And I'm going to
Right.
do my very best in the time that you provide. Um, so if you provide me only 2 hours and you want your bathroom to be spotless, and then you also add in that you want your floor spotless, depending on which one I start with, usually probably the bathroom, I will be able to complete that in full without
Right.
any errors. And then I'll do my best on the floors and try to make that spotless as too, if it's, a
Hmm.
big project.
Do you regularly follow, like you mentioned, a methodology? Like, do you organize first and then clean? Do you, because as far,
So
I mean, hmm
there is some psychology behind cleaning.
hmm
When you complete a load of dishes, it gives you this dopamine kick that then gives you that sense of accomplishment. And then once you do
hmm
that, then you start to wipe down your counters or get into a focal point of being able to then do whatever you need to do next.
hmm
It's the thing with starting your washing machine. You start your washing machine, it gives you that sense of accomplishment, that dopamine kick, and then it spirals you into continuing to do what you feel is a priority in your home. Some people are able to sit down and just focus on their work and delegate their tasks then to me or somebody else that they've hired, or
hmm
focus on cleaning later after doing that. But for me, I do, for some customers, do some laundry and some dishes and stuff like that if I feel like it's going to benefit them. Um,
Yeah.
if I feel like it's going to make them more lazy, I save those to the end and I don't do those and I leave that for them to do to be more productive so that the next time I come, it's not as bad. And so the way that I clean is I go in and I really like to just kind of do that dopamine kick type of thing. I go throughout the whole house, I gather all the trash, I try to tidy the whole home, I
Mm.
strip the beds, all the beds that need it done, or
Okay.
and then I, will finish making the beds, then go around and dust the whole home. This is how I like to do it. There are exceptions. There are customers that work from home and ask me to either save their office for last or do it first. And I'll do that. It's no problem, but it actually takes a little bit longer to do that because of how I focus and how I actually complete the home.
Right.
So then I'll complete all the bathrooms, and then I'll complete, the kitchen and then the floors. And that just kind of like helps me not to forget an item or get exhausted. Um,
Right.
Whereas some people go room to room, and then that first room may be absolutely perfect. And then it kind of goes downward in quality.
Hmm.
And there's no complete overall span of quality in your work. Whereas if you do it task by task, then there'll be quality from task to task.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also
Oh, I
remember,
see.
I don't need to do this anymore. It's one less thing that I need to do for these 4 bedrooms that I have in the home. It takes it a level down in stress to be able to then say, okay, I'm this much further into cleaning your house and in completion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Have
Yeah, yeah.
you,
Um,
yeah.
I kind of learned that from having a few customers that wanted me to do it that way. And then I said,
Mm.
I really like that.
Hmm.
It's task based. It's very much realistic with the hourly cleaning desire that I have to continue to do.
Right.
There are a few customers I do price based, and sometimes it falls in my favor, sometimes it falls in their favor. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but
So have,
I make some exceptions. And then I know you've
right.
asked me about cleaning products, green versus non-green, and
Yes, yes.
I
And try
have
to tell me like how you started doing that and how it has changed. If you know, like you said before
started
with your customers.
faucet cleaners. And then I said, you know what, like I'm feeling very drained after cleaning. And then I
Hmm.
had some customers that would call me up and be like, I have these cleaners, but they refuse to use my cleaning products. And I'd ask them about their cleaning products, and they were green cleaning products. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Why not? It saves me money. It's what you want. Like, let
Okay.
me provide that for you. And then I said, oh, I like these products. They do just as good job as other ones. So then I would run with that for a while. And I don't know. I like to change the scent up sometimes. I did for a while do a seasonal thing where like Myers cleaning products have sometimes like a spice based cleaning or a
Mm.
peppermint based cleaning, and I'd be like, okay, your home's gonna smell a little pepperminty as Christmas is coming up or something like that. Or it's fall, so your house smell a little more like pumpkin spice or something like that. And then I got into essential oils for a while, and I use that, and I still use essential oils. I really like essential oils.
Mm.
And I dilute
That's neat.
everything that I use, with the
So
exception
how
of
do you,
products.
right? How do you manage the inventory and how have you managed? So the let's say when you worked for these other people, you probably use their products, and then when you started realizing you were doing more of your own work, how did you start like managing everything you had to buy, and how did that made it to, to your books, or how do you use QuickBooks? What do you do for kind of organizing all your inventory?
The apps by Dave Ramsey, and I budget a certain amount that I'm going to pay help, and I'm going to pay for products and things like that. I mean, my income
Mm,
does vary month to month. I do get some cancellations. Sometimes it's really high, sometimes it's really low. But then I just look overall throughout the whole year and I say, okay, this is what my income is. And
okay.
then I look at the year before and I say, okay, within this margin, my income is consistently, what it is. Yeah. And then I
Right,
base
right.
things off of that. I tried to find the best deals for like internet, um, so that I'm not like spending a lot of money on things, in case there is a dry period, like when COVID happened.
Yes.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
and there was probably only like one customer that wanted me to consistently clean. And I was like, wow, my income went down to like way
Oh,
low.
wow. So do you okay, before we go into COVID, which
I
I'm
had
really
second income, so we were okay. But it
yeah,
that yeah, so
yeah.
in
Do
short,
you
I just make sure that I have a window glass cleaning product.
yeah,
I to the store, I see what's on sale. I know what works best, and then I kind of base it off that. If there's a sale, then I'll, buy 4 bottles of it and have it. Cleaning
right.
products will last a long as you're not using a ton of it.
Yeah. Do you um sorry, I just got so the for example, well, let's go into COVID while I remember the other question. So you started 2017, and then 2 years later, we know what happened. So how did that
Because we had just bought a home, so it was
oh
like in
wow.
2009, right ish. And so, yeah, but then I was able to then kind of pick up, and I did a little bit more of my own homework, home duties, as well. And so, I did more cooking and more cleaning in my own home and stuff like that. But it did hurt, I had at that point one helper, and then they didn't want to do it anymore. And like I said, there's a real yo-yo to cleaning in the business world as well. But
Yeah. So would you say most of your clients have always been individual homes?
yeah, I have always kind of had maybe at least one office per year that I've cleaned. And I really enjoy doing offices. Um, they're a little more straightforward and consistent versus homes, where people
Yeah.
live and
Yeah.
leave their problems. um, but
Yeah.
yeah, um, I would like to
So
do more offices,
yeah.
but that's just I take the work that comes and run with it. And
Yeah.
if I feel like I can manage that amount of work, then I continue with it.
How many hours approximately you may work in a week?
So with drive time and everything like that, um, like, do you consider like phone calls and things that are unpaid as well?
Yes. Yes. Everything that goes to your business. Yeah.
Yeah, probably about 40 hours because I have to work on my budget and communicating with
Yeah.
customers,
Yeah.
doing laundry as well. I bring rags and mop pads as well. And during COVID,
Hmm.
I required my customers to provide their own because there was just this unknown about how long this virus was going to live on different things. And I didn't want to bring home, a mop pad or a
Yeah.
rag that could have been contaminated and put that in my washer. And there was just
Yeah.
like the germaphobe.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
So yeah, I did that. I provided to some customers the products, and then other ones had it. And I just said, can I please use your products of this sort? And also, even for cleaning products, because there became a shortage in cleaning products. So I said,
Right.
if you guys can help supplement with cleaning products such as paper towels, rubbing alcohol.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah.
So tell me a little bit more. We haven't really talked about you, and tell me a bit more about before. So, if you want, like, where are you
Before
from?
cleaning and stuff, or
Yeah, before, like, where are you from? Where are your, what's your location? Where you'd like to,
I
all
grew up
that.
in Alexandria, Virginia,
Hmm.
and with a two-parent household and with three other siblings. And we grew up where every Saturday we cleaned our family's home. And it was quite a large home. It was 3-story and it was about 4,000 square feet. And so they would say,
Mm,
okay, Faith, you need to do these 2 bathrooms and you have the responsibility of your bedroom, which my parents never really cared about our bedrooms, which was kind of ironic. And because they didn't care, I always kept my room pretty pristine. Um, and so I think innately I have a bit of
mm,
OCD, a little bit, because I just wanted order and cleanliness growing
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
up, learning and understanding the cleaning and keeping things in order. My dad was in the army. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. My dad also had his own handyman business, so I learned a few things from him on household maintenance that I've been able to help some elderly people or just even clueless people how to just quickly reset their garbage disposal or put their light switches. And I like doing that. It just helps me be set apart and
mm-hmm.
um, say, I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to go above and beyond.
Yep. Um, Interesting. And then when did you move to Florida?
So I, in 2013, yeah.
Hmm. What made you move to Florida?
So my husband at the time, he um, got a job opportunity he was really, really excited about to for a gaming industry, and he helped release it, Dungeon Defenders, um, something like that. Dungeon Defenders. It's a video game.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and he worked for Trinity Entertainment and he loved doing that. And then once that was released, they kind of had layoffs and stuff like that. And
Mm,
he changed a few different companies and now he works for a medical company and he really enjoys that. And I'm
yeah.
happy for him.
Hmm.
And so we moved for that reason, also because he wanted to become closer with his father who lived in Florida. I had family in Virginia, but we talked to my family, and my family was in a position to be able to travel more and visit and stuff. And we actually realized that we lived about 2 hours from my family. So
Hmm.
I grew up, I lived with my family. I went off to college in the same area. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology. And I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with that because I
Mm,
had a daughter, a child while I was in college. And my parents really helped me complete my college, which I'm very thankful for because I have, you know, a degree, something I can call my own. And because of that, I was like, okay, we can move to Florida. And I felt, oh yeah, and then because my family was willing to come visit, and we have um, visited them as well, we had the finances and capability to do that. Um, and so yeah, and I had 2 more kids with my husband at the time, and then um, yeah, so I was a stay-at-home mom for a bit. And then when I felt like, hey, I want us to get ahead in life, be able to buy a home, be
mm,
able to pay off your car loan, my husband at the time's car loan, his debt, and have money in the bank so that we weren't like yo-yoing and relying on a tax return to come to be able
Yeah.
to order a pizza or enjoy life at all. And
Mm.
so I took on that responsibility, and um, it worked for a while. And um, yeah, and then there was just personal
Yeah. Yeah.
stress that happened.
Hmm. So you mentioned also that over you've had people working for you, but now you don't, right? Now yours.
Yeah, I don't have
How
any
has that worked?
that has worked for me long enough that I felt like I could put them on salary, or even like
Mm.
anything regular, like enough that I felt like I could submit a 1099 or anything like that. I've had probably over 10 different people throughout the years,
Hmm.
maybe
Yeah.
slightly more, but they've definitely helped me. I usually will just forward the cost of what I'm paying them plus
Hmm.
product fees, in addition to that, to the customer. And I really don't make much of a profit off of them. I just am like, we get more done, quicker, and we can have more jobs to do and
Right.
grow my business. And so, um,
Right. Yeah. So you've used, I mean, how, what do you want, or what do you ask of people that work for you?
I required like their driver's license, ID, and some references, so that I told so that I can confidently tell my customers I've done a checkup on them, and
Hmm.
I at certain times, if I didn't know them through church or if I didn't know them through something, I required them to provide me a background check. Um,
Got it. Tell me a little bit more about that, about how church or community or religion maybe kind of shapes how you work or your business, or the history of it.
the morals and standards, and making sure that I'm honest, and um, yeah, and it's definitely attracted a lot of other Christians to my business, and it helps me stay in communication, because people will ask for prayer for something, or I'll be able to ask for prayer for my customers, and
Mhm.
just a whole different kind of energy in people's homes. And
Yeah. What
yeah,
church do you go to?
I go to a non-denominational church called Vita
Okay.
Spring in Gainesville.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hmm. Um, so you also mentioned when you were talking about your family and about having cleaned, and then you have a degree, but when it was needed from you to work, you went into cleaning rather
Well,
than
yeah, because it would
psychology.
allow me a flexible schedule. I was able to be
Okay.
home when the kids were out of school. I
Right.
didn't start working until all the kids were either in preschool, and they were in preschool due to speech delays, like the ESE preschool. So they started at like 3.
Hmm.
And yeah, so then I started with that. And then I grew from there. I found like a neighborhood lady who would meet the kids at the bus when my business started to grow more. And she was extremely affordable, like
Hmm.
$5 an hour or something like that. It was like,
Yeah.
oh, and she was just like, I just want to help, and I just want to do, so then I was able to work a few more days per week, more full time. Um, and yeah, that really helped us a lot. And
Do you think, have you felt that perhaps gender, like maybe this kind of, although you said all the siblings cleaned, but have you felt that gender in a way has created any challenges for you or any advantages in this the type of business that you run?
What do you mean gender? Like,
Well,
um,
being a woman and kind of the perception that women are the ones that clean and that
yeah,
take care of the home, things like
I
that.
had some customers who've kind of rubbed off on like lack of humility and like expecting,
Hmm.
kind of having a higher expectation.
Mm,
And how I kind of have dealt with that is, I just go into those jobs and I say, oh, yeah, what is your priorities and what's your desires? Instead of trying to, trying to shape their attitudes a little bit in a more less pushy way of like, hey, I feel like you're coming across a little harsh, let me just
right.
not clean for you anymore or ghost you or something like that. No, I don't ever want to do that. And I don't do that to customers. I feel like
Yeah.
communication is very important. And if there's an issue, or I even felt like there could be an issue, I always will try to go to them and talk to them and say, hey, is there anything going on? Anything I can improve on? Um, Anything
Hmm.
different? I really value your business and um, just let me know.
Right.
And I'll make a note on your contact in my phone on, okay, you don't want me to move items so that I can
Yeah.
remind
Um,
or remind my helper if I had a helper at the time, come with me. And
right.
I do have some customers that are just like, no, I don't want anybody other than you to come into my home. And that has caused some scheduling difficulties and frustration, but I value their longevity and reliability and their business that I've figured it out to be able to provide them just my care to their home and either send
Hmm.
my bird to another home or um, schedule them a half day or another day.
Yeah. What do you use? What are the different softwares or technologies that you use to kind of manage everything? And I'm thinking scheduling, then you already mentioned for bookkeeping, but then also for marketing, besides Facebook, what do you use?
I don't currently do any paid marketing.
Okay.
I just ask for referrals. I ask like if I feel like I'm not busy enough. I feel like God's really just kind of provided everything that I've needed. Like I get a cancellation and either it's like the perfect timing, I needed the break and I accepted the break, especially if it's last minute, and then I'm able
Mm,
to accomplish more things for myself, which I feel is
mm,
fair. Or I get another phone call for another job that I'm able to do, and it
yeah.
just like been this whole entire business has been a blessing in my life.
Mm,
Helped me create an identity outside of the home, um,
mm,
that I felt for a while I became very obsessive and like consumed by moving furniture in my own home and very like sidetracked by every little detail in my home that like I felt like I needed to do all the time, that it just kind of like helped me take a step back and say there's more to life. There's more to me, there's more to um, what's right in front of me. um,
mhm,
Being able to then carve out time for relationships with my kids, relationships, date nights with my husband when we were together, and uh, yeah, just carve out
mhm,
that and have a schedule where I'm like, okay, I'm working this time frame and this time frame, and then I would say, oh, so right now I'm able to then say, okay, I'm able to work more on the weeks that I don't have my kids. And then on the weeks that I do have my kids, I make sure that I'm home after school with them. And on the weekends, actually, my youngest son, my kids are like eager to make money. And so there's a few jobs that welcome that and are flexible. And so I'm
Right.
like, hey, if you want to make money, come with me to this job. And then it reduces some stress and off my shoulders as well, because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I'm spending time with my kids and I'm investing in them as well and teaching them skills and helping them financially as well.
Yeah, that's great.
I
Do
really wish
you?
that my oldest daughter would do cleaning with me. She's very, very good, especially at cleaning floors, very detail oriented. But she just got a job at Publix and really loves doing that. And
Nice.
so, yeah.
Yeah. How do you think, have you noticed any change in the perception of um your, I mean, the job of cleaning, as you've become a business owner? And this is like from being a cleaner or perhaps a part of another business, or just doing the job, to I'm a business owner, and this is the service I provide, kind of from work to professional business.
Um, I'm not sure. Like, I guess I just don't really see the difference. I feel like if you're
Hmm.
a business owner, unless you're just owning the franchise and overseeing it, which I would probably still want to keep
Hmm.
working at that franchise, even if it's like just weekly or something. Just for me, it's sometimes hard to take a step back, and because I really value quality um, as
Yeah.
well as quantity, but
Hmm.
the what I've had to do is just like take a step back and say, okay, I need to reduce my anxiety. I'm going to provide a good quality of something, and sometimes less is more. Like if I provide less, but it's better quality, if I come back and it's still they still haven't done the other item, that bathroom that I did a higher quality on will be easier to complete again, and then I'll have time to touch up on that other task. And
Right.
so I just have to like reassure myself, like, okay, even if I don't get to everything, it's not it's not my responsibility to hold on to all that. They live in the home. They
Hmm.
still have laundry to keep up with, dishes to keep up with. If it bothers them bad enough, they'll get to it or they'll schedule more hours with me.
Hmm.
And I can't work
Yeah.
for free. I've got to
Yeah.
live my life still. And yeah.
Right. Um, we haven't talked about competition. You provide services for Gainesville. Or do you
Well,
provide the ga-
actually, during
Mhm.
COVID, I
Mhm.
got more work shortly after COVID because some of these bigger companies didn't. They said, okay, well, if there's just one cleaner, and they are well enough and they have the health, they're
Mhm.
going to be honest and legitimate and either work or not work if they were sick. And
Mhm.
got more communication from me, as well as what they said, versus the bigger companies where they'd get these emails that said, you've been in contact with COVID, and you're like, I don't know which person that came into my home that was like that had the
Oh, okay. Okay.
symptoms, and we don't know, like, and so they would frantically call them, and when they didn't get responses and they didn't feel like the customer service was there, they'd
Hmm.
then seek other cleaning services out, and
Hmm.
one of them, and I I took on a lot of the different jobs for that reason.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about other
Or to wear a mask, and some people weren't
mhm,
willing to wear masks and stuff like
mhm.
that. I really wanted to keep my customers comfortable and my own health and their health as well.
Yeah, of course. Um, what do you think about, I mean, what other competition do you think you have, or has it been a challenge before?
Yeah, yeah, there's been some competition. I get calls from customers and they're like, "Oh, what are your rates?" Or, and I don't want to have those jobs just because of the money. So I just tell them, I'm like, "Hey, if I would like to help you, I have the availability. If money is the issue, just let me know. If it's something else that's the issue, let me know. Like, I'd like to still be able to help you." But there is a level of standard as well where I'm not going to work for minimum wage again.
Right.
Where I'll say, perhaps you can find it cheaper and perhaps you can find it for the same quality. Um, but unless I
Right.
go to 0 clients again, I'm not going to start from scratch again,
Hmm. Yeah,
financially or time wise or whatever. Yeah.
right. What view or kind of vision do you have for your business in the next for the future?
For the future, hopefully in the next 5 years, I find someone consistent enough to stick with me and to continue to grow and to have their own cleaning schedule as well. The only problem that I have had is that when I have had that, I haven't been able to compensate them
Mm,
high enough for their quality. And then they say, "Hey, I can do this too." And I've had a couple people who have said, "Hey, I'm starting my own cleaning business." And at the time and stuff like that, I had people sign like a non-compete thing so they didn't take my customers away. Um, but yeah, I usually am pretty good at making sure that like I don't send them to customers that aren't loyal to me as well. So like, yeah, I mean
mhm.
it worked out. But yeah, so I'm sorry, I keep getting sidetracked a little bit.
No, it's wonderful. No, that's what uh, I'm here to listen to. Just one more thing also, the kind of that I just noticed we didn't talk very much about the your clients, have they changed? So let's say we can perhaps describe them, of the size of the home. Are they like kind of middle class to upper class, or like generally kind of a very
I've had the whole span of things, but for consistency purposes, for regular work, they definitely are middle to higher class, so that they have it in their budget. But I do have some people who they may not be in upper class, but they've made sacrifices in their life or they've gotten an inheritance where their house is paid off and they say, "Hey, I'm going to reinvest into my home and keep it in pristine condition and so that it resells well." People that
right,
hire cleaners and keep their home in professional condition, their homes then sell for the asking price or higher. Um, so there is an initial investment into cleaning your home, but if yeah, you will return the money will be returned to you in the long run.
right.
Whether it's health or it's your
Mm,
the price of your home, your stress levels, all of it. There's just like different variables
yeah,
that
I understand. Yeah. Um, well, thank you so much, Faith. I
so
think,
welcome. If you have any more questions or anything, feel free to reach out.
I will. And then I'm going to ask you for permission now on the video so that we have it. I may take this part out of the YouTube, but to put this on YouTube, I'll share it with you, the video before we make it public. But, and also I'm going to ask you, I will take, if you don't mind, some pictures from Facebook of your kind of logo and things like that, and
Oh,
then
yeah,
ask,
great.
yeah, ask for permission to make it part of our collection. But if you have any other image, photo of you that you want to share with us, and kind of, know that we are building an archive of businesses, of the small businesses. Small businesses generally do not get any kind of documentation, like,
Recognition, yeah.
or I mean, I'm a historian of business, and it's very easy to write a history of a big business because they have lots of records, but it's almost impossible to do it for small businesses. So this is part of a kind of a bigger project that we hope, well, I'm very glad that you will be part of it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. All right. Have a
Thank you,
wonderful
Faith.
weekend.
You too. Bye.
Bye.